Emma's Universe podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe podcast.
All right. Good morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're gonna hear it. Welcome to Emma's Universe podcast. Yes. Oh my goodness, talking about madness. It's becoming very, very strange right now because there is a few things. Then it's starting to amplify a lot of. You're gonna use the word hatred coming out of social media, but there is boot in there, and also fake news starting now to trickle down as well. We have experience because I'm one of the keyboard warriors that is using my social media actually to ensure that people who do not know what's going on in Tennessee and the Carolinas, the Appalachian, because it's difficult. I feel like there is a censorship going on as well because information are not trickling down like it should be. So if you follow me or if you know where my Facebook is, you will see that everything I was at 99.9 at the exception of the word of the day, and maybe something that will make somebody smile. It's all about the Appalachian and where they are and what's going on. The misinformation right now is horrifying, and the people drinking the Kool-Aid is even worse. And I'm not even talking about people, and I've been into some of those because I'm blocking people as I go along because I have a rule here. You should not be spewing venom or poison, especially when we're bringing awareness. Now, you have different people who make different accusations, like you're stealing the videos, you're doing this, and it's like, what is wrong with you people? Those information is awareness being shared from one social media to the others because somehow over the rainbow, we're not finding this on some part of other platform. So a lot of people have been watching what has been posted on my wall. They call it the wall, yay, or on my page, either way, and looking at informing people because it feels unless you have been through fires, through the destruction of your home, a total loss, you will understand that it doesn't take 15 minutes to rebuild it. This is not happening. But this happened at a mass level. It's not one house. It's 170,000 people who got a household that got affected by that situation. So it's not a small one. People are assuming things they don't know. And because if one person say, well, we're going to bring the help, we're going to bring in the money doesn't go in 24 hours either. They're not cutting a check from the president when he came into the Carolinas has made it clear that some of person that run his campaign with his chief of staff, I don't remember his name, sorry about that, will be managing the money to ensure that everything is dispatched where it's supposed to be, which is good. I'm going to be honest with you. It's better to make sure where the money goes and the money goes to where it's supposed to be. There is some movement, and I'm recording this at the end, so with the 20th of January, you will see this at the beginning of March because I got other things that I covered in between. But there is now movement with dump truck, which is good. That means debris are going to be removed. Now we're seeing that's what was needed, actually. So we need to continue to post, and I will continue to post what really is happening over there based on the boots on the ground videos and the survivors, the people who are over there. So I found it quite interesting because, again, there has been a shift between two sides, the previous administration side and the current administration side. And the anger, the hatred, the aggressivity has changed side. And when I'm looking at, and as I mentioned earlier, I've been blocking people actually from my Facebook because attacking others, criticizing the government has nothing to do right now with the Carolinas, the Appalachian area. Those people in the Appalachia don't give a crapola of what's going on with politically speaking. They're dealing with the recovery. When you lose a home, when your life is turned upside down, you're focusing on your life. You don't have time to monkeying around with everything else, and the people are losing sight of it. The awareness of what's going on is a dire situation since September. It shows that the progress needs to be made. The state need to be all of the states, and I talked about it I think last week on the podcast, talking about how can we bring safety, how can we have emergency going, because if you think about it, if you don't have a plan and you're thinking, oh, nothing is never going to happen. Oh yeah, sure, that's what you assumed, but at the end of the day, that's not the truth, because when horrifying situation like the Carolinas, like LA, earthquake, everything like that you need a plan. You need to have something to get going. And it has been a huge meme everywhere. Okay, this has been the most horrifying things. However, you still have organization there. You still have the people who come and help, but we still need to support them when it comes down to volunteers, when it comes down to donations, because nothing is done. The assumption, because somebody is telling you we're going to help, we're going to do this and that, it doesn't happen in 24 hours. Help is just starting now. We're seeing truck, like I mentioned, dump truck that's coming, is going to hauler all of those debris out, clear up every debris, from the houses, the businesses, everywhere, the trees. They're coming now. But this is not a 24 hours miracle. It takes time to do things. So we need to look at what's transpiring, because I've been noticing, and I should take a picture because I normally do not eat ice cream. Okay. I got a little challenged now by information. There's been a wave, and I'm speaking on, we're all human beings. We all make our own decisions. Trying to cancel companies, blah, 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 has become a trend for the past few years. We're canceling this, we're canceling that, we don't like you, whatever you said, we don't like you. Okay, your monkey, your circus. However, trying to pressure others to do it, no. In the case of Ben and Jerry's, I talked on Monday about how I, as in the past, as somebody who managed people, did the reviews. What are my thoughts process when I review people? Based on their performance. When I hired people, it's based on their skill set, their performance, and the openness to do the job and to learn. Okay? That's how I interview people. This is what I'm reading people. And if I know, like I explained the story Monday about this young lady, nothing wrong with her, but I knew she would not stay there because her goal was to become a manager. And she made it very clear, and everybody ignored it except me. She left and she got office manager position, and she was happy. This is what she wanted. She wanted to become a manager. She wanted the title of manager. Okay? Chasing after a title. That's fine. You do whatever you want to do. Now, I'm going to talk about my favorite ice cream of all time, Ben & Jerry's. Ben & Jerry's is one of the best ice cream ever. Seriously, those guys came around the block, and my cookie dough ice cream became my cookie dough ice cream. And I got my brownies, and I got my chocolates, and I got my Garcia ice cream. But when I'm hearing, people, and it depends on the politics of businesses. When you own your own business, you make the choices you want. And businesses should not be treated as flip flop, but unfortunately, some do. Government should not pressure companies to change how they function because the core value of their companies, even well, the traded one can do, will follow the political trend, but other companies will not. And for me, my point of view is, as a business owner, having a small business as well, my company or other company, it's your baby. It's your core value. If you want to install specific core values that resonates with you, good. But we shouldn't have a wave of people because they refuse to remove something that a program that now the White House has removed. Big company are removing them. Good for you. But they should not, because if some people want to keep them, they do whatever they want. This is their business. Now, what it really gets to me, and this is where bullying coming rampage here and hatred. We're going to cancel Ben & Jerry. Well, honey, here's the deal. I love my ice cream too much, even though I don't eat that often anymore, except today. I went and got my ice cream. I got my chocolate brownie Ben & Jerry ice cream. I should put it in my... I want to take a picture and upload it for my podcast, seriously. Because I love my ice cream as long, and I'm going to say that, the company doesn't harm anyone. I'm talking human trafficking. I'm talking about horrifying crimes that you can see everywhere. Then I'm fine with that. Ben & Jerry run their company the way they want. I don't care. I don't work over there. Like I said in my, I think I did on Monday. I don't remember. That they run the way they want. If you don't want that, then don't buy it. If you don't want to work for that company, don't work there. Nobody is forcing you anything. But you try to bully people online that you have to agree with them, because otherwise, if you don't agree, they are turning their hatred and their poison toward people. That needs to stop. We are human beings. We have our own free wills. And it feels like right now, which is pretty bad, it feels like we are being forced, or people are trying to influence others to follow. We're not a bunch of lambs. Okay? There is a lot of things right now that I'm watching, the censor that I see on TikTok, misinformation that comes across. Things are shifting because there is manipulation behind it. We need to stop this. We need to take the time to do not drink the Kool-Aid. I'm only on TikTok now a few hours a day. I used to be longer than a couple of hours just to get all of the content to be able to pass down to my social media. So for the awareness of people who do not go on TikTok, and because some people are still on Facebook, and the reason I'm doing it is because there is nothing, and I said that before, there is nothing on Facebook. When I noticed the second week of Helene, I noticed there were nothing on Facebook, and I'm not a huge fan of Facebook. I use Facebook for my business. I use Facebook to post my a couple of things, and I do my words of the day and my podcast, but I don't spend much of time. So I utilize that for the awareness and showing what really is going on, because people had no clue, which is sad. It's very, very sad when people don't have a clue, because out of sight, out of mind. And again, the news are not reporting what is going on, and it doesn't matter which political side it is, because news are flipping, like, again, they are not neutral. Now everybody is playing left, everybody is playing right. Everybody wants to play in the sandbox and have the grace of the universe, or the whatever. It's becoming a little scary. And seeing the hatred, and that hatred, because people, it's easier to attack people behind a keyboard. How many people, except I saw one lady who was out of sight, out of mind over there, crazy, and got on TikTok insulting somebody, which was ridiculous, seeing the hatred. And it's like, what is wrong with that picture? What is wrong with is going on here? This needs to stop. We are living in a world where mindness is full of craziness. That needs to stop. So you have to be now careful on social media, because again, there is a lot of propaganda coming across with a bunch of lies, and that needs to stop. Truth is being covered left and right, and being bullied, for me, doesn't make any sense. If a company wants to stop a program because they want to do it on their own, well, good for them. If some don't want to do it, then so be it. But I don't think people should continue to attack companies, especially when it doesn't do any harm. If you don't agree with their core value, like I said, if you don't agree with the core value, go buy something else somewhere else. It's okay. But don't try to threaten other people. Okay? If you don't agree with things, stop insulting and using other people's platform, because like I think I mentioned earlier, I was looking at some of the people who spewed venom and made comments on my Facebook. Then I blocked them. I automatically blocked them. I said, I don't have for you. And if you dare attack me for something or call me something that I'm not, because you missed the entire point and you want to spew your venom, then I'm going to go on your Facebook. I'm going to look at who you are. And all of them that I've been seeing actually don't even have any post. So those are fake one. They are boot one. People creates. I'm going to block you. And I'm going to block you. And I'm going to block you. I don't respond to threats. I just block. I will send again a post soon, again live, to warn people. Again, I'm going to block you if you do this, because we don't have time. We're in a world where human people need other human support. We don't need people utilizing social media to spew their venom. There is so much negativity. This needs to stop. It feels like they're creating a storm to distract people from what's happening in reality, and that needs to stop. People needs to take a step back and said, enough is enough. I had something I have to find on TikTok actually. It was a gentleman, and I'm gonna probably put it on my Facebook, and maybe it's gonna be a wake up call, and maybe people are gonna call me on that. It was somebody from Germany, and absolutely, I would say, appalling. It's appalling from what I saw. He was a very nice gentleman who explained what the Nazi did in 1939 and how it happened, and explaining, and it's so true, that the monsters were the regular people. They were not the big black wolf that you see everywhere at all. They were the regular people. And it is a lesson for everybody to understand that, because the big black wolf, it's it's right here.
German. I live in Germany.
Listen to this one.
I want to tell you something about the Schmazis, because as a German, I think I'm a bit of an expert for the Schmazis. What the media told you and what Hollywood told you and what you've seen on TV, that has nothing to do with the real Schmazis. The Schmazis, they're not these funny dorks you've seen in Hogan's Heroes. And the Schmazi is not a person, a diabolic person or character like, for instance, Spielberg told you. The Schmazis, they were ordinary people. People like you and me. And maybe if you would have met one, you would have even liked him or her. When Hannah Arendt went to Israel and she attended the Eichmann trial, she coined the expression of the banality of evil. And that's what it is. These were ordinary people. Nothing like these big hunks with scarred faces, the Huns. No, they were like your butcher. They were like your, like little Billy living next to you, playing baseball, football, a nice guy. And they killed people without thinking of it, because they thought It was right because somebody told them so. You don't have to ask yourself how Hitler did it. You have to understand why, how did he make it that all the Germans were convinced that was correct and that was the right way, and that is the real question. And the second thing is, most of the Schmazis in Germany, they never killed anybody. They were Schmazis by looking away. And it wasn't their neighborhood, it wasn't their friends. They knew in the back of their heads that there was something going wrong, but they were Schmazis by not saying no. And you are at that point right now. If you believe in God, and most of you do, I don't, I can tell you, God bless you. This will be dark times ahead, and I hope many of you, they don't look away, and don't let that happen in your country, because I truly love it. Please don't. Dear Americans,
So that to me, because you need to understand, there was a somber celebration yesterday in Germany about the camps, because we are, and that's why, seeing what's going on right now with the hatred, this needs to stop. It's easy to attack people online. It is so easy, and people have been accustomed to it. It doesn't bring anything. It's just puke hatred. And this needs to stop. Again, there is boot who are doing it, because a boot is a fake profile that is set up electronically to bombard others and trigger people. And you got really people who are lost in their ways because they think it's okay to attack others. Now, I get irritated by people. I'm irritating people, which is fine. But to the point to spew hatred, that needs to stop. We are turning from one extreme to the others. And it is not a good climate, because looking at, and that's why I'm talking about the Carolinas, I've been noticing that some people are using others' social media platform, not theirs, to spew the venom, but to spew venom into others' social media. You know what? We are accountable for our actions. We are. Karma will come and bite you in the rear end. Here's an interesting story. I had somebody was staying somewhere, and that individual was supposed to do a cleanup and do something at the end of their stay. That individual did not. And I received a call from the husband of that person, because the most interesting part, and I said, well, that's interesting, universe, good, that person got karma right back right there. That individual did something that she should not have done. Guess what? Her husband called me and said, well, they lost they lost an electronic items, and it's not where she was. Actually, I don't know where she lost it, but I found it quite interesting, and I said, well, that's interesting, universe, that karma bite her right in the rear end because of her actions. Now, this is a small story. You're going to say, well, what the heck? What it has to do with puking venom? Every time you spew venom, this is going to come back and haunt you back very quickly. So it would be good when people interact on social media to stop the hatred, to stop to insult each other. I have seen some horrifying posts on comments, not posts, but comments, that the people in the Carolina appellation was all of their fault, that they don't need help because they voted one way. And I'm shaking my head and I'm like, what is wrong with you people? They, whomever they are in the appellation, you got everybody from Democrat, Republican, maybe Green Party as well, everybody of any religions over there who have been affected by the hurricane. How dare you people say to them it was their fault and that was their problem, and good for them, they don't have a home. They never asked to lose their home, but the hatred towards them which they did not ask anything except to live peacefully. This is what they want. This is what we all want. Living in peace, minding our own business. But when hatred takes over, that become a problem. When you have people who are so frustrated and some who feel they are entitled to come and say things they are superior of others, be extremely careful of your actions. There was a lady out of control who redid the schmatzy sign. She got fired. Thank God. Because she thought it was okay. In Germany, you do that sign, I can guarantee you go to jail. In Europe, you do that sign, you get in trouble. Everywhere else. Doing it here did not help that person. She got fired. And I'm glad she did, actually, because that is one thing we don't want to see. The commemoration, the 80 years commemoration of, that was Auschwitz. It wasn't Dachau, it was Auschwitz. Was a day or two ago. We don't want to see this again. Never again. We don't need to go to extreme. Because you never know who you need in your life. You never know. In time of challenges, in time of despairs, who will come and help you? Maybe that would be somebody that is a different color. Maybe that would be somebody that you show hatred towards, but still somebody is going to come and help you, and that will not be your neighbor. I share my story about the fire for my home when I lost my home. And no, I didn't start the fire, people. It wasn't me, actually. I woke up in the middle of the night, and I'm the one who sounded the alarm, even though the fire was and the smoke was on the top of the roof, not inside. So the fire alarm never sounded, actually. The person who helped me, Jerry, God bless her heart. I love Jerry. I didn't know she existed. And she came in my life and gave me that freaking leg up. While other people who knew me for years did not move a finger. So, the word of the wise, people who come as a perfect stranger in your life and help you, be mindful. And for the people who spitting on everybody else's, you're going to learn a lesson the universe going to get for you that it's going to be memorable. Actions have consequences. We don't give those consequences. The universe does. Karma is so quick. Those individuals in the Carolinas, I've never asked to lose everything at all. But they don't need to be insulted. They don't need to be mocked. They don't need to be treated like chicken crap at all. And so far, the people who have been helping them, the volunteers, the heroes in my book, and continue to do it on a daily basis, the unsung heroes, the people who came out of their dime and give their time for them, who have left their houses in doing this 12 to 18 hours a day to help them to rebuild, I bow to them. But the hatred need to stop. Companies can run the way they want to run. I have no issue with that because this is how you build your business. Not based on what is the flavor of the month. It's based on the core value of a company. People have the right to decide if they want to work for those companies, and any one of them, that regardless of who they are, or if they want to buy their product or services. But the bullying online, the if you're not with me, you're against me, and I'm going to expose you, and I'm going to, trash you like there's no tomorrow, needs to stop. Man, I miss the Gen X time where we were face to face. You got something to say in my face, you said it, and you move along, and we're done. But here, that needs to stop, and people need to move their head off the sand as well. Set your boundaries, stand your ground. but don't drink the Kool-Aid. And with what we're being bombarded right now, we have to be extra cautious. But it is your choice, guys. Are you going to be part of the people who are going to continue to spew the venom behind a keyboard thinking it's okay, which is not? Or are you going to stand your ground and your principle and do what is right? That's the question. Now, supporting the Carolinas, I will continue to do it regardless of what people think about it. I really don't give a crap, to be honest with you. Between people saying, you're stealing the videos, I'm like, and you're an idiot. You're a bona fide idiot, because those videos are not stolen. Those videos have the trademark, the watermark, and the name of the people who actually are recording it. You bunch of ding dong. Those information, unfortunately, were not available on Facebook somehow with the censor. They were only available, and thanks to TikTok at that time. I don't know what TikTok's going to become. So that's another conversation for another day, because I don't know if I want to stay into, and that's what bothered me actually, if I want, what do you call it, a government-owned platform, because that bothered me, because that could become something else that I don't want to, where we don't have the freedom to do what we want or communicate properly here. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. I have a problem with that. But that is me, okay? I like freedom when a company function on their own and not when there is an influence of a government on top of it. It should be autonomous, where we can get freedom of being able to speak mindfully and really show what's going on. So for me, TikTok has been very extremely helpful and a blessing, because it really provided the needs. And a lot of people who are actually on my and follow me on my Facebook are sharing those videos for others to know what's going on. So we need to continue to support each other, but we need to stop to blame people because of what is going on politically speaking. The Carolinas have nothing to do with it. People need to realize it doesn't matter who voted for whom. Those individuals came from the left, right, center. And they don't care about what's going on. They need the support. They need the help. This is what they're looking for. They're not looking to praise anyone. They want results. They have suffered enough since September. They have been ignored, unfortunately. It has been a chaotic situation because there is nothing, and I talked about processes, and I said that before. Every single state should have a process in place for catastrophic events. FEMA cannot do the job. FEMA works a different way. And there is enough red tape in FEMA to do not provide the support because they don't understand what is needed when they come on site. That's the problem, the disconnection that's been happening. Until people realize that, it's going to continue to be a chaos. FEMA, and I said it, needs to be revamped, or maybe it's going to go away. Either way, the state should be involved. FEMA cannot take over. The state has the capability to request for the money. The state has the power to help. But the problem is what do they have in place in case of emergencies? Hurricane, was they expecting any hurricanes coming that way over there? Absolutely not. But there should be something in a book, a process, something that should help them. And so far, it's not been there on that side. It's not been in the West Coast. And I can guarantee nobody has a plan anywhere. So if you think about the state, and every single state are responsible, you cannot ask the feds to help on the top. They should be able to help. But my point of view is the state should have a roadmap of some kind in order to do that properly. Every single state should. So this was the podcast for today. I know it's a little weird what I'm talking about. I jump from donkey to horsey to whatever. But I wanted to express how frustrating it is to see what's going on right now. And I hope by the time you're listening to this, which will be the beginning of March, we got something better going on. Because right now, we're into darkness. We're into an entire shit show. Yeah, I said a bad word, shit show. And that needs to stop. We cannot continue to work in chaos that way. And we need to learn to ground ourselves, to bring ourselves to basics, and continue to help where is needed. All my love, guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye now.
Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe Podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe Podcast.